Hello, myself Rupak Chatterjee. I'm working with Link Digital as a product owner. Today, I'll going to talk about one of the upcoming or rather ongoing project. It's called MSF. The name itself will talk about the everything. Medicine Science Frontier. Yes, that's the project I'm trying to explain today. So yes, the main mantra for MSF is like nothing like doctors without borders. So so MSF mostly looking into the broad spectrum of how they want to share the data and what way they want to share the data, the complexity around sharing the data, and who can see what kind of data. So that is what the complexity comes to the picture, and that is what they reached out to Link Digital as a partner. And then the inception of the project is like we did the various round of workshops, and the culmination of the workshop was like various requirement, various use cases comes to the picture, and then each and every use case is talk about different actors. um, Let me tell you, like one of the famous one actually. So um, as you guys might know, right, the way MSF works in their ecosystem. So they used to collect data as a researcher. That data may come out from the field itself, the external fields, and those data can be collected by internally some MSF internal researchers, maybe some third party, maybe some external characters. And once that data has been collected, then how they will go to share the data. So there is a different nomenclature of MSF behavior. Like one of the term is called conceptual node, and that node can give the initial behavior of the study has been conducted by the external members, and ultimately that will be the starting point of any research work or any research study rather. So MSF thought process was mostly around how to conduct study and then make the study tangible by the users. Either they can go through the look into the study, various aspect of the study, what stage that study is right now, and then how they can contribute towards the study, and all those different points. There are different types of user who can see what kind of, and that is what like they reached out to link detail, and then we went for various type of requirement gathering sessions, and then ultimately we come up with a plan. Ultimately we come up with success stories, what I'll go to share right now. um, so MSF has, from business point of view, like 5 OCs, which stand for operational centers. And currently Link Digital launched the platform, which is called DSP. um, so that basically targeted for OCA, Operational Center of Amsterdam, where this actually the platform will going to be piloted, which is right now, and each and every user is going to be do their testing, scenario analysis, and then come up with a feedback. And that is what where we stand right now. Before I'll go further and talk about more, let's look into the platform that can give or provide much more context. So let me share my screen, and then that can give. So this is a platform. This is the one I'm trying to explain, which is basically called DSP, data sharing platform. Now, the way it has been designed right now, more or less like, as I mentioned, this platform will main target is the researcher who is basically conducting a study, how they're going to contribute towards this platform, what are the file they can share, who can see what kind of files, then visibilities and the risk factors and all these things comes to the picture. So before come to or before go further, so this platform is basically designed in such a way there are a lot of privacy securities and everything considered as a part of the data sharing process. So that is what first thing first is obviously sign in and login process. So user can get in the platform by registering, so they can register and there is a terms and conditions they have to go through all these, and then only they can register, or they can directly use their single sign-on. When I say single sign-on means MSS specific account, and as you can see, like user can use the MSF specific login and they can log in from there. Or if user doesn't have a login, then as anonymous user they can see the platform and they can browse it accordingly. And that's the way the nomenclature is actually. Now inside this platform, as I mentioned, each and every rather data sets, or rather research is basically marked as a study. So these are all different varieties of studies. Some studies can be published, some studies can be unpublished. The difference between published means it's basically it can pass through or it passes through all the stages, and now it is ready for user to use it actually. Each and every study is basically come up with like a different topics, covering different topics, and that can conduct in different location or region, and at what stage that study is running right now, so that can provide a kind of clarity, and then what sort of risk associated with it. And then user can search through by title by typing over here. um, Let me show you. And then they can see their relevant studies. They can also go through the topics. Each and every study has a different topics to cover up, different methodology, where that study has been conducted, which team is responsible for it. As I mentioned, the MSF is basically running on different OCAs. So this is basically OCA, Operation Center of Amsterdam, and then what stage that studies are right now. Now, once you open up any study, like sample example is this one, then each and every studies you can see the stages and then the metadata. These are all different metadata of the studies. Then what sort of files associated with. Now the most important, you can see once you come to the files, you can see the access denied. That means these files is uploaded with a restriction. So until unless you will not supposed to log in via the proper credential, you cannot see those files. And then you can see the historical data if there is any historical data associated with the study, and then corresponding activity stream when that study is created, or what other thing is been modified, bloody bloody bloody. Now there are certain things, as an anonymous user you can get it obviously, as I mentioned. So by looking into the studies covering these are the topics. This is the region where the study has been conducted, and as I mentioned, like that's the OCs. And then each and every study is being demarcated with PI and SC. PI stand for principal investigator, and SC stand for study coordinator. They are the main responsible person for the study. When I say the main means from MSF standpoint, they are the owner for the research work, and they will going to conduct whatever they need from MSF standpoint, and they will be the main responsible person regarding this study. And then yeah, they will be responsible for all these information like methodology, data collection tool, what language they have conducted that, study settings, blah 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 blah. Other than that, the way platform is designed, so each and every study, the platform or the system can tell you, like as an user, an anonymous user, or maybe a normal user, logged in user, you can come see, and then you're going to see a section called related studies. Um, that section is going to talk about there could be other study which is basically relevant to these studies. When I say relevant means there is some relevancy from the point of view when where this study is conducted, maybe from region point of view, maybe from topics point of view, and system will basically throw up or show up or display some of the relevant study, and as an user you can go and then have a look into it and get some insight about the other studies. That's the way the related studies comes up. Other thing is, you can also ask a question regarding studies. Suppose you, as an anonymous user, you have a questions regarding it. But to ask a question, you have to be a part of the platform, and that is what you can see. Log in to ask a question. And once you ask a question, this question will be prompted to the principal investigator or study coordinator. That's the way the structure is. And the platform is designed in such a way, there is a notification mechanism, there is a workflow is behind the scenes running, and this person will be responsible to respond those questions and answer and get that clarified properly to the user. There are other things as well. Each and every studies can be, as I mentioned before starting into the demo, each and every study can be conducted by internal MSF user or maybe external. That's what the collaborators comes to the picture. This collaborator can also be a part of the study and they can contribute towards to this research work. That's the way the connotation is. Other than that, each and every study, there is a specific nomenclature. The nomenclature is nothing about the risk factors. And there is specific things about how long this study can be conducted, and then what other files can be uploaded against that different stages. And once that covered up, then what file can be visible to the user. That can also be done by the different parameters, which is basically only be possible by the principal investigator and study coordinator to set it inside the platform, and then based on that they can see it accordingly, or the user can see it accordingly. There is another view what I'm going to show you. Let me show you that as well, and that can give you another picture. So suppose you are a registered user. Once you logged in, then you will see that manage your study. So initially, as anonymous user, you have to logged in and to get the study. Once you logged in as a logged in user, then you will be present by the system as a manager your study. So these studies, either you are the principal investigator or study coordinator. So system will automatically understand based on your login and then go to throw up. And that's the way the system is designed. So if somehow based on your login, if system found that yeah, you are the person who's basically associated with certain studies where you are the principal investigator or study coordinator, then system can throw up. And that's the way what you are seeing right now. Now go back to homepage. So homepage can clarify a lot of things. So there are some statistics around here, like number of users is basically active. That so this is basically where from I'm demoing, such as development environments. Um, the pilot is basically under customer environments, just MSF environments, and there are some restricted data. So yes, obviously we need to comply with that. So each and every study is basically categorized as a topic. That's what it can be visible. That's the way the logic is. Um, Stay in the call. So that's the way you can see right now. And then once you go to the study, as I mentioned, you can see there's a card over here. You can update your card by adding some study, which is basically as a part of your question. So if you have any question related to any study, so suppose let me show you for this study, you have a question, then you can ask a question again against the study, and then that can go directly to the owner of the study, the principal investigator study coordinator. You can write that up, and then the user can see and then respond it accordingly. That's the way it is. One is that. The other phenomenon is that, um, if you have any things to talk about, you can follow the study so that you can get, or maybe you must be interested about the study, so you are just following that. Then in that case, you will get all the notifications or rather update related to this study. And then from your main menu, so once you go to studies, there is a dashboard where from you can see your own studies and then what study you are following. So from here you can get all the clarity about your own studies as well as the study you are following. Suppose you have some request, then that request can show up over here. Or if you have any questions, then that can also show up over here. So suppose somebody has asked a question against your studies, and then that can show up over here. So once you go over here, you can see a picture, and that picture can give you insight about what is all about that questions and answer. That's the way it is. Each and every studies, like, let me show you. So let me show you. So each and every studies has some different nomenclature, and that's the way the logic is right now. And that's it. That's the thing what I just wanted to confirm and explain to all of you and share with you all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.